I'm Chloe Hatvani. I play for the ERNA Hawks, and you're listening to Smash FM.
Let's welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Friday because we were heading up to Queensland. Now we go a little bit further south to New South Wales, and of course, speak with the ERNA Hawks netball team because they had a very, very important win on Wednesday night. Of course, they knocked out the Sutherland Stingrays by 3 goals, 50-47 on Wednesday night. And of course, we got one of the captains joins right now from the 23s to tell us a bit about it. Of course, her name's Chloe. She joins us right now. Thanks, Chloe, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. Yeah, definitely. We had a good on win on Wednesday, and the first one against them was a draw. So really, really happy to get the win over them.
I guess tell me about the game and
Yep.
how important is that win, considering obviously you're trying to get yourselves away from that bottom spot at
Yeah,
the moment.
yeah. We've had a lot of close games this year. Always started really strong. Some games have, gotten away from us, but really close. Even we played Penrith Panthers. They were top of the table, undefeated, only lost by one. So we're definitely, as the season's come around to the second round of it, we're getting a lot closer. But yeah, two good wins in a row. We beat Fury, which we had a good win, and I think they're sitting at fourth. And then Stingrays on Wednesday, which was another good win. So yeah, we're doing really well. Getting better. Might be a little bit late. I think I'm not sure if we can make finals. Even if we keep winning, but not too sure. But yeah, it's definitely good to have these wins and the hard work's paying off.
Where do you think the turnarounds happened the last 2 weeks? Obviously, knocking out the Fury, who are currently fourth at the moment, and obviously knocking out the Stingrays, who are third on the ladder.
Yep. Um, Honestly, there hasn't been too much of like a team change. Like I feel like from the start of the season, we set really good values and standards for ourselves. So it was kind of annoying that we weren't winning because we were training so hard, we were doing everything right, but I think that extra motivation just to we hate losing, we don't want to lose, and just to lift that extra standard at training, work that bit harder, know what we're capable of, and yeah, just go a bit harder in the games. We've been working a lot on those little errors that have been happening because we felt like it was a bit of repeated mistakes, like just silly errors that you hate that when they happen, but those coach killers that they always talk about. So just really trying to focus on fixing those areas of the game, and yeah, it's been working. So
You
yeah, it's been
mentioned
good.
about all the close games. Now, I just had a look at your percentage for the year, and it's probably the best percentage, especially for a team that is currently sitting second last on the ladder.
Yeah. Is
Uh,
this shooting?
yeah,
Shooting like the like goals like four or whatever it is.
yeah.
I'm not as much of a stats those type of stats. I'm my own stats.
uh,
But yeah, we've got really like that's the thing. That's why it's so hard. We've got such a great team. It's just getting down to those shooters and then they can shoot it and we'll be good. But yeah,
correct.
we've got really strong shooters. We've been lucky to have Charlotte Ryan come down a bit. She was taken up to the Opens for this year, but then we've been lucky to steal her back a bit and have her down because they've got so many players. We were lacking people, all things like that. But oh, her shooting percentage at the moment is amazing. I'm not sure what it is, but it's really, really high. So yeah, I've been like all our shooters are amazing, but yeah, it's been great.
So this week, how's it going to be like coming off 2 wins and you're playing a team as just 1 point ahead of you at the moment?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be another. Every game is a big game, but I love it. That's why we love it. I think that's why we're playing better. We're playing better when you've got that extra challenge. But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing. I think those basics have been really working for us, doing them well. So continuing that because that's just been our strength at the moment. We've been using all 10, 11 of who have got, bringing in training partners, bringing people up, down, all sorts of things, and everyone's fitting in really well. So just continuing, utilizing who we've got and working hard and hopefully get another win.
So have how good is to have kind of the whole team back? Obviously, it's been a bit of a disrupted year, especially
Yeah.
with I know the 17s and the 19s New South Wales teams obviously had nationals about early in the year. How's that to have them back, and especially was any of them part of that New South Wales team that
I'm not
won
sure if
the
we had
19s?
any in that this year, but we've had we're a lucky team that we're very talented, but we've had a couple of people out with all different sorts of sports. One of our shooters, Jess Johnson, she does athletics for like throwing and stuff, so she was out for a bit and then was injured. So we're talented in other areas as well. But yeah, we've had definitely the start of the season, that probably also, doesn't help. When at the start of the season, we had a lot of people out injured or doing those other things. So I think that's also helped at the back end of this season. Just having everyone there for, all our trainings, all our games. But yeah, no, it's been good having everyone back.
Tell us me about your amazing coaches who obviously been really patient with this team considering how close and heartbreaking games that you've been involved in this year.
Yeah, no, we have James and Nicole, and they're both awesome. They are co-coaches, and they work really, really well together. Balance each other out well. Um, with Nicole more works in the attack end, James a bit more defense end, but they work, yeah, really well together. Yeah, I think patient, and they're both just so passionate about what they do, and working for that sort of thing comes from, they they hate losing as much as we do, and it's probably worse when you can't even get out there and try and fix what you want to see and things like that. But yeah, they're really great. They're so encouraging and awesome for us, for everything we do. So they're really great. So yeah, they were very excited for the last win. It was on Nicole's birthday, the last win we had, so extra special.
Now, just had a look at your fixture. Obviously, you got a week off coming up
Yep,
in after this game against North Shore, and then you've got the ladder leaders Panthers again.
perfect.
Um, how important is to knowing that you just came very close to beating them the first time around, and obviously you got another chance to redeem yourselves.
Yeah, I think that game really showed us what we're capable of and how close we can get. And we're a great team. I mean, all the teams in this competition are so strong. That's why it's especially this back end of the season's been so up and down. We've gotten a lot of the, let's just say, bottom half of the table beating the top half and those sorts of things. So definitely focusing on this first game that we've got and just, getting that game done, working on what we've been working on, hopefully get that win. And then I think just working hard again, doing what we've been doing will translate into that Panthers game. They're a tough team, physically strong, and they really run hard onto every ball. So just playing our game, but bringing that strong physicality, not playing a physical game, but strong physically to yeah take that game on.
What's the approach now? Obviously, you do have a weekend game coming up, which is not at home. You have to travel all the way down to
Yeah, we're
Europe.
traveling again. We're on the road again. We haven't had a home game before.
No.
Never. We're always traveling everywhere.
How he's going to approach the rest of the season, knowing that obviously I think your last two games is obviously at Illawarra and then obviously back up for Wednesday night. I'm sure that'll be at Netball Central, back in Homebush. How he's going to be approaching is knowing that you've got pretty winnable games coming up.
Yeah, I think going down to Blaze is never easy. They've got a great like atmosphere and great crowd and a lot of people that come and support them, so that never makes it easy. And they're still a strong team. They've been pretty unlucky with having a couple injuries this year. I know a few people have been out injured, and especially with the 17s and 19s out, so they've had a pretty unlucky run with just not having their whole team around. So I know they definitely want to have a big win, especially at home. So that's going to be one. It's going to be a tough game for us actually, being down there and on a Saturday night. Not anything we're used to. So just really sticking to what we've been doing throughout the whole year, playing our basics really strong, defending hard, attacking really well. That will hopefully get us over the line.
Let's talk a bit about your netball journey. Where did it all start, and where, oh, especially where the love of netball came from, and what does it mean
Yeah,
now?
I started as early as you can probably start, about 6 or 7, I think, in Netters. I played for Queenscliff. That was where I started my netball. My mum and nan always played netball, so I feel like I was just born to get into it. They had always coached me through it, and through my junior years, they were both great at netball when they had been playing, especially my grandma. She was a very, very good netball player, which was always, a bit of drive to be better than them. But yeah, I just loved it. I've always loved it. Never really done another sport. Through school I'd done different things, but just always have stuck to netball. Always loved it. Loved the friends you meet and everyone along the way. So yeah, still love it as much as I did back then. And it's great.
Now, you debuted on the COVID year, 2020.
Yeah.
5 years now with the Hawks in the Premier League side of things.
hmm
How any highlights and how have your growth in netball changed in the last 5 years?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was definitely crazy year to come into it. I think usually we start the season in April, and I think we started it maybe in like August or something. It was a big change, a really long season, but I loved it. I wanted it to be the longest season of my life. It was the best ever. For the first time I played netball on my birthday that year. Usually October's like long gone for netball, so that was great. But no, I just loved it. Yeah, no, this is my sixth year with the Hawks actually. So, and I think I'm hitting 100 games some point this year, maybe.
Ooh.
And it's just been, I love it. I've just loved the Hawks and loved being with the team every year. I feel like I'm being the only one here the whole time and everyone else is changing around. But no, I've met some of my best friends are, from the Hawks now, and it's been great. I'd say, oh, I've had so many highlights. Not making a grand final, which is a bit of a shame. But a big highlight for me was the ACT. I made the ACT State 19s team, which happened in 2022. Hang on, nope, 2023. No, yes, 2023. And that was awesome. That's like everything I'd ever dreamed of was making a state team and being in the state team environment. So we went up to Darwin for nationals for that, and that was just, yeah, so good. It was everything that I could have ever wanted to do, and yeah, I loved it.
So your mid quarter, wing
Yep.
tackle center. Do you have a preference?
Oh, not really actually. I always loved wing attack. I was always wing attack, loved playing it, probably because I didn't want to run around in center. And then get forced into center for about a whole year, and I was like, hang on, I think I like center more. But now I play anything. I got chucked into wing defense a couple times, loved that. Um, so no, don't really have a preference anymore. Just love being able to be on the court anywhere I can. So yeah.
Now, obviously, your home association, funny enough, is Eastwood Ride, which is
Yep.
obviously part of the Hawks. How special is to remain at your home association, obviously being in the Premier League?
Yeah. Oh, it's been awesome. I originally started out at Manly Association and then moved across to Eastwood, and they've just been so awesome to, come up into that association. And yeah, they've been all so good. Just everyone at Eastwood's been awesome. Just yeah, really making it feel like a second home. And yeah, it's been awesome to stay within the same team for so long and know everyone around and get come from that kind of home environment has been awesome.
I was going to ask as well because obviously we were going to have one of your other co-captains with you, Lucy, with you as well tonight. But what have you learnt from Lucy?
Oh, Lucy's great. She's got a lot of energy and a lot of drive for netball. She's a real hard worker. So I think that, those extra little one percenters at training and just going really hard, constantly on the court, just like going for every ball. She's a real gritty defender. So that's definitely something that I take from her. Like, you just see someone on the court or at training working hard. She's not necessarily really flashy or like outgoing with how she'll do it, but she'll just put her head down and work hard. So that's definitely something I always take from her. I think she's a real hard worker, and yeah, I always take that from her.
Any future ambitions in netball for you now?
Yeah, always setting goals. Definitely getting an opens spot somewhere would be a massive goal for me. It's something I've always wanted just to keep, progressing with my netball. Love the Hawks, so that would always be great. But yeah, just wherever I can go would be amazing. Just to continue my netball pathway growing within it. There's all the academies down here, which is awesome, and then into professional environments. But yeah, just continually growing with my netball is something that's always been a goal for me in whichever way that might go.
So I know in your opens team, you're a fair few national champions players
Yeah.
in that team from the past in that opens team. Is there? I know you don't want to single out any of them, but do you have a favorite three in particular that you look at?
Oh, that's actually really tough. Well, I'm a mid-court, so I will go with the mid-court. I do love Jess Conlon. She's in the Swifts Academy. She's a Swifts training partner as well. I was lucky enough to play with her for maybe 2, 3 years, maybe two, maybe three. In the 23s, and she's awesome. I still am good friends with her and always, watch how she's going. But yeah, she's great. Someone I look up to in how she plays and who she is. She's a great person. Um, so she'd definitely be my number one who I'd look up to. And the other mid quarters there are great, sorry. Georgia Marshall's awesome. She's been there forever and just a
Yes.
consistent, strong player. So she's also been so great. Oh, who else? There's so many. I'd actually say the team's changed quite a lot this year. We've had like quite a few changes. There's always been like, those national Swifts players and Swifts Academy players coming through. So honestly, all of those girls that I can't forget that there's so many people that have come through that I've just loved being able to watch and admire how they hard they work and how they play on the court. So I could name a lot.
Yeah. No, fair enough. You did really well. I'm sure Jess will like the fact that you got a number one.
Yeah, she will. She will.
What makes the Hawks so special for you to play in?
I think just it being just a home association and the connection it has with grassroots all the way up to the top. I think it's so great. There's always clinics on with the younger players coming through. There's like academies, there's trainings on, and it's just all, that connection with the younger players that, when I was in that position, that's all I'd ever dream of. And seeing those people, you're just like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. So I just think, now I'm a bit older and doing it with the younger people, I like know how exciting that can be. And you can really see a goal and set a path of where you want to go. So I think that always feels so special, just having that connection with the younger girls coming through. And I think Eastwood does that really well, just, setting a goal and seeing how you can get there and really connecting with those younger players. That's what I think is probably the best.
So, what would be your advice to people that should get involved in netball, especially heading down to Eastwood Ride to get involved in netball, which is in the beautiful part of the inner suburbs of Sydney?
Yeah, I think honestly it's just the best. It's just so fun. You meet such great people. It's, a great way to, get fit and stay active and learn a new sport, learn new skills. I'm still learning now, always will be. But yeah, I've just always met such amazing people along the way, whether it be coaches or players or managers, whatever it might be. Um, so yeah, I think it's just so fun and you meet great people. There's no downsides.
Good point. Very good point. Now we'll finish with a couple of light-hearted questions about your teammates there at the Hawks, which
Yep.
is who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Oh, okay. Um, Comedian. I'm gonna go with Ella Dale. She is a clown. She's so funny. We love her. No, 100% she'd be the comedian. Singer, no one. I'm no, I have never heard anyone sing, and I feel like that's a good thing. If I had to pick though, I'm gonna go with Eliza McKenzie. She she might be hiding something that we don't know of. And
Ooh.
dancer, I'm gonna go with Acacia. I feel like she just has to be the best.
Any embarrassing moments by any of your teammates on the court?
No, not that I can think of, thankfully. And they're recorded too, so I'm glad I don't think there's anything. I People probably just like falling over or something, but yeah, it's recorded, so you don't ever want it to be embarrassing because
I
you
was
can
going to
watch
say
it, you
that.
can watch it back, so you don't want it.
Do you have a pre-game superstition, ritual, or routine, Chloe?
Um, Not so much anymore. I used to be quite, superstitious with certain things, with how I'd tape and shoes on, socks on, all of that. But then I'd get a little bit stressed when something wouldn't go how I'd want it to, certain music and all of that. So I've learned to let go of those sort of things a little bit and just go with the flow a bit more. But I'm definitely be ready before my game and listen to some good pump up music, but I'll have some food and all that sort of stuff. But nothing super strict these days. I like to be a little bit more relaxed and I feel like I play better that way.
Any inspirational speech to your teammates before the game?
Let's win, please. Please. I can't cope with losing. No, but I think we've just been doing so well and we train so hard. We've been putting in the work and putting in the effort. So we know what to do. Let's just go out and, do what we've been doing well and stick to our process of and our values and we'll get the job done.
uh, Anyone on the team that has a hidden talent that we should know about? You kind of mentioned a little bit about Lysa McKenzie before.
Geez, might need to get everyone like doing some things like talent shows, see what everyone's capable of.
Yeah.
Not a hidden talent, but I mean, Jess Johnson, she's really good in her athletics and her throwing, so that's not so hidden, but I'll say that one.
Okay. Do you have a pre-game pump-up song on the drive to Netball Central?
Recently, after watching the Penrith Panthers in the grand final when they ran out to Hell's Bells, that's what I've been listening to before every game. So now they know. So probably Hell's Bells. Yeah, that's I mean it pumps you up. It's great. You can't not be excited after listening to that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, something I love about your competition in particular, which no other competition has done around the country, is you have media day
Yeah.
at the start of the year, and I love the media day stuff that comes out of your competition. And now, did you do any silly, funny media things that you had to do on the day? Which I think was
Um
part of the tournament, wasn't it? Preseason tournament.
yeah, in a past couple years we've done it on its own day, and then we do Heart Kids Cup now, which is sort of like a pre-season tournament. So I've been doing it before Heart Kids Cup. Um, no, not so much actually. Like, well, I wasn't asked to do anything so funny or anything that exciting, but we've done just a couple like more nice questions. Like, we were asked, for like I think it was Mother's Day or something like that. Who's someone that means some is important to you and about your mother and things like that. So. No, more nice things I was asked, but no, it's always actually great fun being with everyone. It's one of the only times really you get to meet people from different teams and just have a good time before you go tackle each other on the court. So yeah, it's good fun.
Now, the one thing I also love is, the serious photos, the good photo, and obviously the funny ones.
Yeah.
Did your team do any funny photos on the day?
Not on the like proper camera. Like we just did our own. So I can't actually remember what we did. I think some we just did it as like all like the opens and the 23s. I think we are like carrying someone or doing something, but yeah, not. I don't think they had time for our silly photos this year. They'd had enough of us. Not these people again.
Love it. How was it like trying to keep a straight face?
I'm not good at it. I can't do it, especially when there's like everyone having a good time around you. I look sad more than like serious. I'm like, this is not intimidating. I don't want people to have a look at this. But no, I try. I try. Like I just can't have anyone talking, and I'm probably the one that is talking. I'm like distracting everyone else. But no, it's good fun. It's good fun.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And we'll finish with these last two. Describe your team in a couple words.
I'd say positive, strong, and not one word, but always there for a good time. I'd say they're our words. Yeah.
Well, Chloe, it is so awesome to have you on the show. Obviously, fantastic run in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, hopefully continues on Wednesday against North Shore United. They're at Netball Central, and hopefully all goes well for the rest of the season, and hopefully finish the year with a pretty good record. Hopefully, if it's hopefully undefeated all the way through.
Yeah, let's turn this second half of the season around. We'll just scratch the first half. Let's go undefeated second half of the season.
Obviously, all the best for the year. Obviously, you got a pretty winnable games coming up, including the Panthers game, which, as you mentioned, you came close to them last time. So, best of luck, and hopefully all goes well. And hopefully, we'll be cheering for you from down here in Melbourne.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll hear you from down there.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. And that's Chloe there joining us, of course, one of the co-captains of the 23s there at the ERNA Hawks, of course, netball team playing the Premier League. Because if you're in Sydney, make sure you get down to Homebush at the Netball Central to cheer for them as they take on North Shore on Wednesday night. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 15th year celebration.
I'm Chloe Hatvani. I play for the ERNA Hawks, and you're listening to Smash FM.